almost started without a flaw.
Almost.
My mic stands loose for some reason.
Watch the bong.
But it's fine. We can do it.
Building downtown.
Hey, yo, this is The Building Downtown. You can follow us on social media at The Building DT. You can follow and subscribe to the show on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts from. I'm your host, Jason Kelly. You can follow me at JKellyMMA. You can follow my co-host, Kirill Kasatskiy, at Kirill Raps. You can follow my other co-host, Amy Barton, at Ames Bell. So tonight's guest, I've been first interviewing this guy, I think, since the Score Fighting Series. For people in Ontario, Canada, that probably rings some bells. Since then, he's went on to do all kinds of things. He was on The Ultimate Fighter. He was smashing people in the face with keyboards. He's podcasting now, doing all kinds of things. If you haven't caught him anywhere yet, you can catch him Friday, May 7th at Bellator 258. The gentleman, Josh Hill. How's it going, my man?
Hey, how's it going, man? I'm good. How are you?
Great, man. I'm glad you could join us. And so as an MMA fan first, I would assume that you're still buzzing off of UFC 261. That card was fucking wild. And I want to touch on some things there. But first thing, Chris Weidman's leg injury. You, as a person who really does this shit, thankfully you're not a kick-heavy fighter, but I mean, a person who really does this, what goes through your mind when you see an injury like that?
That shit's scary. And yeah, you know what? Like, early in my career, I definitely was not a kick-heavy fighter, but my last few fights, I'd say my last 5 fights, and I've been leg kicking the shit out of people.
I know.
I really like that. But this kind of sucks seeing that.
What are the chances of it being the same guy?
I know.
Yeah, that's what's crazy about it, right? For that to happen, to be on the receiving end after somebody doing it to you, that's crazy, man. It's very rare. I mean, you don't really see that. So I would imagine that he most likely maybe had a slight little like hairline fracture or something already, and it maybe just contributed to the actual breaking it. But who knows? That's crazy.
Here's what I don't believe. I don't believe that anything went through anybody's mind right that moment. I think every one of us just wanted to die where we were, and we're not able to think.
Yeah, I mean, I think if that happened to me, I would just probably puke and pass out.
You see him roll. You see him on canvas rolling his eyes up. Hey, you're just like, oh shit, here we go. I remember that moment after he tried to step on his foot. He's laying down, and he's just like he before he even started, feeling anything. He rolled his eyes. He's just like, this one's mine.
That's the worst part about those breaks too, when they step on the fucking foot.
Oh
my god, fuck.
Yeah. That's the cringiest part.
The skin tore everything. It was an open break. It's horrible.
So wait, has he made any comments yet? Because I am pretty happy to be confidently saying, having not had that experience, that kind of injury is not something you feel right then. Like, he was rolling his eyes because there was nothing to feel right then. You are automatically in shock for quite some time after that kind of trauma.
Well, he was coming to a realization of what happened, and I'm pretty sure, like, I've had quite a few bones broken in my childhood. You know what I mean? And it's still it hurts pretty much instantly. You know what I mean? It doesn't take too long. I'd say probably 5-10 seconds after you realize what happened. Yeah, you start shaking, and it's
like Josh said. Josh, you're saying you've implemented a lot of low leg kicks. We've seen that a lot lately. But I have noticed that in your fights. You're not Edson Barbosa out there, but you're still you've added that to your game.
Yeah.
When you started training those kicks and adding that to your repertoire, you didn't Chris Weidman yourself, but did you fuck your legs up at all?
No, I mean, the one fight I had, it kind of sucks. It depends on your distance, but if you come up a bit short and you catch your foot, that's what's the worst part, man. When you catch a foot on a knee or a shin or a hip, that shit hurts for months. So yeah, that's the worst part of it.
Yeah, I remember being a kid, and it's like you watch movies and stuff, and a head kick looks so cool when they do it in the movies because it's the top of the foot hits the person on the head. And then once I started, back when I trained in martial arts and started learning how to actually kick, I'm like, what? You kick with your shin, not the top of your foot? Like, no, you don't want to slam the top of your foot on the point of someone's elbow or their fucking knee or something. That shit hurts.
Yeah, any foot, when you hit the foot, man, on an elbow or like you said, or hip, it's
yeah.
As a fighter, it didn't look like the hit was wrong, did it to you?
What,
I
Weidman?
mean, yeah, like his hit, like it looked like it was placed right and everything, right? It's just what shit luck, or like you said, maybe a hair fracture before that.
Yeah, or the way it's checked.
Yeah, it looked like he definitely had like checked it slightly. He turned his leg out, which is what you're supposed to do, but it wasn't like a full on, like 100% check. But yeah, that is that's crazy to see it happen like that, man.
Yeah, it was wild. But I mean, that whole card was nuts from top to bottom.
Yeah.
Some other moments. Rose Namajunas, she was on the season of The Ultimate Fighter with you, right?
No, not my season. No,
I thought she was your season. What season were you on? I thought you were on the season with the chicks.
I was the first one, 18.
18.
But she was later. I don't know which one she was on, but yeah,
she was on that one.
Smaller weight class too.
Oh yeah, it was the 35s. That's when they brought the 35 females in, right? Yeah, that's right. That's right. Because you had the best pickup line of all time with Roxanne Modafferi. And for those that don't know, it's nice socks. Want to fuck? That's what it was, right?
I think it was something like that. I don't even remember. But.
Especially Roxanne of all people, the nicest person ever.
Well, that was the whole point of it, right?
Yeah, that shit was fucking funny. Yeah, though that's what I was gonna say about Rose. I was thinking that was that season, but yeah, it was a different one. That was all females that season. I'm pretty sure when Rose was on. But yeah, I mean, that head kick knockout she had was fucking crazy. The Usman fight, I didn't expect that knockout, but I expected Usman to win.
Yeah, I agree. I picked Usman to win. I thought he would wrestle him, out grapple him, out position him. But I did not expect to be on the TKO.
Yeah, especially like that. That was fucking.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, man, that was crisp. That was nice. Valentina, she showed off her wrestling skills against fucking that little pit bull Andrade. Every fight, man, nailed it. Like it was such a good card.
Yeah, it was. I mean, yeah, you couldn't really ask for a better one. To come have fans for the first time back.
Yeah. And throughout this, have you fought during the COVID fucking season?
Yeah, I fought
no
in
fans?
August with no fans. Yep.
No fans. Is there going to be fans next Friday or no?
Nope, still none.
Still no fans. Do you miss it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it, to be honest. Once I'm in the cage, it doesn't really matter anyway. It's all kind of the same. The walkout's definitely different, though. It's just kind of weird, and there's not like a whole lot of noise and energy. That kind of sucks. But other than that, I don't mind. Actually, like to be able to listen to my corner, you can actually talk to them while you're fighting. It's not bad for that,
Shit, eh? Yeah, that must be a completely different experience, like the walkout, like you said, because you're expecting, the music starts playing, you walk out, there's a pop, people start cheering or booing or whatever it may be.
And it's all natural. Now
you get there's nothing.
Now you got to test your acting skills.
I kind of had a taste of it when I was on The Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah.
With that, it was, you don't even get a walkout music with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like dead quiet. So I kind of like, going into it, I had a bit of experience with no crowd.
That must have been fucking weird too, eh? The Ultimate Fighter, I even thought about that. Because like throughout your career, every fight you've had, there's been at least some sort of crowd there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, not fucking an arena full of people, but like.
Well, but there's no fans. There's still the corner people. There's judges. It's still got to be at least 50 people in there, right?
Oh yeah. You have like the commentators, the judges.
I mean, it's no comparison to 5 or 50,000, but
yeah. Shit, what's the biggest crowd you fought in, or like biggest Marlon Moraes crowd?
Shit. Yeah, probably. I would say 5,000 or so, 4,000, 5,000, something like that.
Yeah, because in Hamilton, back in the Score Fighting Series days, what did that hold? Like 1,200, maybe 15?
I think there was a little bit more. I think it was like 2,000 or so.
They brought good crowds too.
Yeah. I mean, when I fought, actually, like hometown fights, when I fought in Burlington, just outside Hamilton, that was probably the biggest crowd we brought. There was like, I think just over 3,000 there.
Shit,
nice.
Yeah. Damn, for regionals, that's good.
Yeah.
You can't get anything going here nowadays. I mean, even before COVID, fuck, like Garnett Ace got screwed the last time he tried throwing an event, and it just seems like every time somebody tries to get something going around here, they run out of money or falls flat on his face. Or I know Ken Hayashi, people said he was a problem for a while, but it's so hard to get shit going.
He was just a piece of shit.
Preach.
Yeah, that guy just hated like doing any, like he got paid the same no matter what. He's been doing that job for 100 years, and he just didn't want. He was the reason why it took so long to get passed legally in Ontario. It wasn't until 2011. And yeah, any fight, like people that put shows on, like it would cost them, at least 10 times more than anywhere else. And then
Jesus.
he would become the matchmaker and be like, no, I don't like this fight. No, it's too much, too little experience. No, I don't. And just put you through so many hurdles and shit. But thankfully he's gone now. So
Yeah.
Luke is the guy that's running now, and he's much better to deal with.
Yeah, it seems like over the years we've got a few people in the commission. I know Alex Pecker-Gasson is working for the commission. We got some people in there that actually have a clue, it seems like, these days.
And care about the sport and actually want to see it grow,
Yeah.
other than, besides him.
When Garnett aced the last Global Warriors, he tried to throw, and
Yeah.
Ken Hayashi came last minute and just sniped out everything and screwed the whole event.
Yeah.
Fuck, man, my heart was breaking. I talked to Garnett the night it got shut down. He gave me a call, and I mean, he was not in a good place. He was very, very upset, and like he was telling me, like, you invest that kind of money and you're getting nothing back. Like that's the kind of shit that causes divorces. That's the kind of shit that could drive, like, ruin a person so bad financially it could drive them to fucking suicide. Like he ruined Garnett's fucking life doing that.
Yeah, man. I know Garnett very well. He's a friend of mine, and I felt so bad for him. I was actually supposed to fight on that card, and then I had to. World Series was like I was still under contract with them, but they let me fight elsewhere. But then they gave me a title shot, so I couldn't fight on that card. So I had to like pull out of that. But then, kind of thankfully anyway, the show got yanked last minute, and that I felt so bad for him, man, just because he put so much into it, and for that fucker just to basically just say no, and just ruin somebody's livelihood. That's why I say I have a lot of ill will towards that guy.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of guys who came up from around here, like your class, your era, whatever you want to call it, of guys, they all have a fucking issue with him, whether it be the fighters, the promoters, the trainers. Seems like 99% of people got an issue with him. You know what's funny? Talking to Faisal about him, Faisal is like very cordial about him. Oh, he had to do what he had to do, and I'm like, Faisal, just say fuck that guy. We know you want to say fuck that guy.
Yeah, tell it how it is. Nobody likes that guy, man. If you're an MMA fan or a fighter or a coach or anything like that, he was a hurdle then, and I'm so glad he's gone. He was a cancer.
Yeah, and now we got this new hurdle, fucking COVID. You're not allowed to fucking turn around a certain way in fucking Ontario. You're gonna fine for it. It's fucking retarded, man.
Ontario's setting the record for sure. We're going to stretch everything.
Oh yeah. And I know you're a person who's not happy with it, but before we get into your thoughts on it, we had Lyndon on back when him and Rory made the decision to close down the gym back in the fall.
Yeah.
Is Lyndon still going to be like in your corner coaching you for this fight?
Yeah. He should be all pending he passes his COVID test, no problem. But yeah, he should be here. Yep, he'll be with me.
So I mean, that's your home gym. He's your head coach. That's your team. And like I was telling Kirill earlier, I'm like, Josh has been getting fucked from every which way with this COVID shit. You lose your gym. You guys got to find a new place to train. Your head coach is trying to figure out what the fuck's going on, how he's going to continue his livelihood and do everything and continue to train and support these fighters under his wing. And then you go out to California for a fight camp, and you basically fucking, if you come back, you got to do a crazy quarantine in a hotel that's basically a fucking prison. Like it must have been a rough 6-8 months for you training, staying focused, finding places to train. Well, first of all, what did you and Lyndon do once the gym shut down? Like, did you guys get any training in?
Yeah. I mean, I have my gym still.
Is that open though?
Not right now, but we do. I
You're there. Vision MMA
then,
still?
Yeah.
Okay,
and then we were at Niagara Top Team quite a bit. And actually, I recently in October I moved to Font Hill, which is about 10 minutes from St. Kitts. So I'm actually much closer to Niagara now. So I've been going out with those guys, with Prickett and all those guys a lot more, which has come in handy. But yeah, man, this thing's just been a total shit show. Bellum shutting down. That's been my main hub for since it opened, and I think it was 2011 or something. I think about 10 years or something like that. It's brutal, and I planned on actually coming out here just for a couple weeks and then finishing my camp at home. But then I seen how all the bullshit that I have to go through to come back home, and then like there's bylaws sitting outside our gym. Sneaking into the gym to train, like that's just, it's insane.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So I just said, and then more people are getting COVID there than here now, which is
That sounds kind of personal, no? But they spent money on somebody to stake out your gym.
Right? Yeah, just because there's rat neighbors that just are losers and they just call bylaw and the police and just because they have nothing better to do and yeah,
Wow.
do that kind of shit. So
And it's not like it's a trap house too, right? It's just people working out, man.
people exercising and training to do my profession. You know what I mean? It's not like we're cooking up some meth in the basement.
Yeah.
So so then I said screw it. Actually my wife, she was like her idea. She's like, I think you just stay out there. It's better training. There's more options for you, and it's just less risky. So
how much? It like, if you don't mind me asking, how much more is it costing you? Is it hitting your pocket because you're staying longer there?
Definitely, yeah. But fortunately, I got a good relationship. I've been coming out here for 7 years, so it's kind of like my home away from home here. I'm comfortable here, so but yeah, definitely, and just being away from this would be the longest I've been away from my kids, both of them. Be like total, I think 5 weeks by the time I get home.
Wow.
So yeah, that sucks for sure. But
yeah, and it's not like they can fly out and watch, right?
Yeah, exactly. If it was normal, they probably would. It's only Connecticut. It's not a long flight from back home. So
not at all.
Or they could even drive, really, if things are normal. So that sucks. My right before the pandemic, I fought in Oklahoma, and I had me and Lyndon, and then my wife flew out, and my parents. So, and we went to Texas after for a few days, and normal life shit.
So you have obviously looked into coming back into Canada, and you decided to stay because of all the headache, right? What was the headache exactly? Like, were you supposed to stay in a designated or like provided by them? But what I'm trying to say was the place where you had to stay for the quarantine assigned by them, or you couldn't just go home in quarantine?
Oh, buddy, I would never stay in one of those hotel things. Are you kidding me?
But was that one of the conditions?
No, fuck no. I would, even if it was, I wouldn't do it. I'm not staying.
Okay, well, at least that's because I thought it's like you hop off the plane and then you go into a assigned hotel where, you know what I mean? Because I've seen a couple of TikToks that were just horrible. This guy was saying that he needs insulin or some shit, and he couldn't get it for some reason. He couldn't get a hold of anybody at the front desk. He's like, "What am I supposed to do?"
Yeah, no pharmacy in the hotel. You can't leave the hotel. Nobody at the front desk is answering to help you solve your problem.
And you're not supposed to leave the room. And it's like, so what do you guys want me to do?
Tell me how that makes any sense that I'm going to come home, I'm going to go into a hotel, pay for it out of my pocket at a 5 times reduced or increased rate. And then where I have a host at home where I can quarantine in and not see anybody and why would I do that?
Tell me. Plus have people from all over the world in the same hotel too.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's just the biggest crock of shit. And those people that are just doing that, man, I just tell everybody, like, don't even just go right to your house. Say no thanks. They give you a ticket, take a ticket. Just do not abide by that bullshit because it's insane. Like, and
you know what? When it all started, like, I'm not usually the one to be, you know what I'm saying? Not to say that I'm gonna go start a revolution or nothing, but I'm not usually the one to listen to right away, right? But when it all started out, like a year ago or whatever, year and a half now, it seemed to make sense. Yeah, there is some sort of infection, you know what I mean? I believe you guys seem to have a couple PhDs hanging out there, you know what I mean? MDs you should know your shit, so let's do it. Okay, I wore my mask in the store. I still refuse to wear it outside. I think that's the dumbest shit ever, but just not to stick out too much or anything, I did my thing. I wore my mask. But now at this point in Ontario especially, it seems like it's getting ridiculous.
Yep.
Like they just keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and the businesses are closing, and it seems to start to make less and less sense.
Yes.
Just like with the hotel and everything, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. The first 3 months of this thing, when it was new, I was all about like being, taking precautions, and because we didn't really know, right?
Yep.
It could have been some deadly virus that's wiping out half the population. We don't know. So,
plagues happen, right?
Yeah, I was all good with that. I was like, shit, we should take this serious. But as time went on and stats came in and we realized what was actually happening, you cannot do this forever. People have to get on with their lives. And I know, like, it's kind of cliche now because Trump always said it, but like the cure can't be worse than the cause. And I totally agree with that.
Yes.
So I think we're a laughing stock pretty much in the world almost right now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in California, which is one of the most liberal states ever. And I feel like I feel freedom out here. You know what I mean? It's like I know a lot of places.
Are the bars open? Like,
yeah, things are open. You know, you have to wear a mask in majority of the places.
so you can go see a
Still.
performance.
I don't know if they're doing that yet. I
No?
know I went and seen a movie last week though for the first time in a year, and that was amazing.
So that's happening. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So and my gym's running like normal out here, no mask or any bullshit like that. So
Because as far as I remember, California got themselves pretty locked up too, essentially, right? Or like whenever it happened, they really got strict with the rules.
Yeah.
Well,
very
not
much
all of
so.
it. That was mostly just LA County.
Yeah, see, it's only a hearsay, right? It's always, you don't know which news are real anymore.
Yeah, no shit. And where are you, Josh? Sacramento?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Northern Cal.
Yeah.
Well, I not to downplay it, but me and my woman both had COVID.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, she tested positive. I stayed home. Then my fever jumped to 38.2. You know what I mean? Which is, well, she's positive, so I'd probably say it was COVID. You know what I mean? So, but not to downplay it, but it was a shitty week of my life. You know what I mean? I did my model citizen thing. I stayed home for 3 weeks. I made sure all of the symptoms are gone before I'm out. You know what I mean? But not to downplay it. It's a shitty week, yeah. But I'm 35 years old. You know what I mean? I'm not like a health junkie or nothing, but I live a pretty decent lifestyle. And I think if it's that deadly for older people, maybe we should do something about excluding older people, providing some sort of services for them. You know what I mean? Because all of this shit, economies are crumbling. You know what I mean? They help child phones are blowing up. The domestic violence is going off the hook. And
yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, the cure can't be worse than the actual thing, right? And that's what we're doing. I think we're doing a disservice to so many people. And like my dad got it too. I remember back in September when it was still kind of like, you know, sketchy and we weren't 100% sure what was happening. And you know, he's not like, he's pretty healthy for the most part, no underlying conditions, but like he just said it was like, you know, like just like having the flu. He's had worse flus. You know what I mean? It's just the only difference, it lingered a little bit longer. But I know that's not like that for everybody, but you can't close the world for that, you know?
That's exactly it. I would say I felt worse than that. I can tell you that for sure. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like I said, if there's something we need to do for old people, let's protect them somehow. You know what I mean? Let's get them all vaccinated first. Let's protect them somehow. Let's have service deliver shit to them. But the things that we're doing to the economy and to the people is just insane. We're gonna feel
I like the way Florida's dealing with shit.
Just open it up.
Well, they're opened up. You can wear masks if you want. You don't have to if you don't want to. He gave the vaccines to the most compromised first, the elderly and people that have autoimmune diseases. So that's what we should be doing. Instead, we're giving our goddamn vaccines away, and Trudeau's just. I don't want to get started on that guy, but like,
he's a clown, man.
He's an absolute joke, and like it's crazy that the only place in the world that's illegal to golf is Ontario.
Yo, that's crazy.
You know, I know that's Ford, but like it's still they're both clowns.
But get this, we still get 5,000 people daily in Pearson on international flights.
Yeah, of course. You know, can't close that down.
But we can't go to a gym.
Yep.
Yeah, it's insane. That's why I don't agree with anything, and I'm against all of their decisions.
Did you have to go through going down to Sacramento? Is there any sort of precautions that they have set up at the gym, like any sort of testing on a certain amount of days just to make sure, or like do you have to wear a mask if you're not training? Is there anything in place like that?
Just the temperature tech at the door, and then of course they just, when you first start here, it's like the bullshit COVID thing, like when you walk into a mall, do you have any symptoms?
Yeah.
Who's gonna say yes and turn around and walk away? So
I got here to tell you I got symptoms.
Yeah. No shit. Eh? What's other than that though, like you're saying, you could go out, you could do things down there. Is there anywhere you have to be vaccinated to enter? Have you had to get a vaccination down there or anything like that?
No, hell no. I'm not getting that shit.
No.
No, I'm not. I mean, sure, maybe in a couple of years when everything's, you know, I'm not against vaccines. I'm not like an anti-vaxxer at all. I just don't want something that is rushed and not approved yet, and we don't know what would come of it really yet. You know what I mean? So, and at my age, I'll risk the COVID. If I was 85 or something like that, then maybe I would think differently. But that's just my personal opinion.
That's what I'm saying. How old are you now?
I'm 34.
34, so we're the same age. That's what I'm saying. I was saying it from the beginning. Maybe it's a bad thing because it's a bad thing to say because it is a risky situation. And honestly, out of the cases that I've heard, mine was the worst. Of the people I heard, nobody hit 38. You know what I mean? Like 38 is a pretty high fever, right? You feel like crap. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, at 35, I don't drink anymore. You know what I mean? I don't get high. I was saying, fuck it, just give it to me and watch me beat it. You know what I mean? I'd rather get over it like this because essentially, no matter what, sooner or later they will come up with a way to get you vaccinated. I'd assume because they're talking about vaccine passports and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
that
but
to me is
at
pretty
this
crazy.
point, I'm actually pretty happy that I got it and got over it. You know what I mean? It was a shitty week of my life. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? But I'm happy I got over it.
Yeah, and Josh, like you're a professional athlete, and you've been a professional athlete for quite a long time now. I would assume you're in really good physical condition, but is there any underlying health issues you have that make you concerned?
No,
No?
not really. No, I'm pretty healthy, fortunately. You know, I don't have anything.
Because truth be said, I have a problem with my stomach and I have a back injury, and both of those flared up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's I don't know. I don't usually get sick. You know what I mean? So I never stay at home and be in bed like I did this time. So I have nothing to compare to, but I have had moments of my life where I felt a lot worse than that.
What kind of precautionary measures does Bellator take?
Well, I just finished doing a COVID test. They sent me one here, and I had to go online and do it with the person, and then I had them ship it off to
Well, you
them.
do it yourself?
You shove yourself
Yeah.
in the nose?
Oh my
Yeah.
God, how did you do that? I've had 2 of them, and I would never be able to do that to myself.
Because
No,
they
these
don't
ones-
need to do it that way. That's just the
Yeah.
way they do it.
Yeah, exactly. All you do is rub it around the inside of your nostril. You don't have to do that deep,
Right.
like in the back of your brain thing.
I thought you had to scratch the back of your throat. That's why I couldn't understand why do you go
No.
through your nose if your throat you could reach through your mouth pretty easy.
Yeah, no,
So you didn't have to go like elbow deep, eh? That's nice.
no, I've had a bunch of those, but no, this one it was just easy. They swirl inside your nose, your nose, and then that's it.
They're not
So-
putting you on like a rapid system because I know some healthcare workers that they're on a rapid system or rapid test. They get tested once a week or something.
Yeah,
And it's a quick test too. You know right away within like 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, so maybe this one is. I know I sent it off to them. That's like before I leave, and then when I get there, I got to do another one, and then quarantine in the room for like 24 hours, and then another one at weigh-ins. I think before the fight. So
yeah, so those are probably the rapid ones. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do 3 before the fight.
Do you think Bellator would have moved forward if UFC didn't do it first?
Probably. I think
Yeah.
they would have eventually found a way, but probably after seeing the UFC do it, I'm sure it just gave them more confidence to get things in order and to be able to do it. You know, they just needed the right place, I guess, and they have a good relationship with Mohegan Sun out there, so they can kind of keep it all under one spot.
Yeah, and what's Scott Coker's still running shit over there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's it like? Because you got to deal with promoters from different things. Fuck Dana with the UFC, obviously Scott Coker now, people in regionals, WSOF guys. You fought even over in fucking Russia or some shit at one point, didn't you?
What?
Yeah, Russia and Romania. You know,
Where did you fight in Russia? Sorry, I'm just Russian. That's why I want to.
Yeah,
know.
Kirill's Russian. He's
the
interested.
first time, actually, my opponent got pulled out at the day before weigh-ins, and I was in I was in Moscow for a bit, but the fight was in Ekaterinburg. Yeah. And then so that one got canceled, but then my next one was in Sochi.
Sochi's nice. Were you there in summertime?
Yeah, it
That's
was.
nice.
It was great, man. Yeah, they
That's
put us
nice.
up in like an all-inclusive resort, so it was amazing.
Yeah, that's I don't know what to compare it to. That's like the Cuba of Russia, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's nice. Did you like Moscow?
I did. Yeah, man, I liked it.
Did you have time to like fuck around to go see things?
Yeah. I mean, once the fight was
that's
off,
a
it
very
was just
very
like-
old city, right? Like super old.
Yeah, we did the whole, the tourist thing. Like we went to the Red Square and like the Kremlin, all that kind of stuff. which was cool.
Kelly calls it Super Mario House.
Yeah, that's what I call the Super Mario House.
yeah, it was cool. I liked Russia, man.
That's nice. So yeah, back in when Bjorn Rebney was running Bellator, did you ever have any interactions or like conversations about signing to Bellator back then?
No, I did not. No.
Oh shit, I was wondering because I always had a great relationship with Bjorn. And fighters that fought under Bjorn and under Scott Coker, they say it's like night and day. They say Bjorn was a nightmare. Coker is the man. And I'm like, what? Bjorn's been great to me for years.
Right.
But anyway, okay, so you can't speak on that too much, but Coker is a guy who is celebrated by fighters. The Strike Force, even before that other shit that he had going on, because he's been in this fight game for a long time. And fighters seem to love him. What's it like dealing with him compared to other promoters you've dealt with? Is there something magical about this guy?
I haven't had a lot of personal interaction with him, just, other than a couple words, but he's been, I like what he does. And that was another reason why I thought Bellator would be a good route to go, because I like what he does, man. He kind of brings like that old pride feel back. You know what I mean? I like what he did with Strike Force, and he's an old school mentality of that in the fight game. And it's been great to deal with. I like him.
He seems to have a reputation of being fighter friendly. And Strike Force was a fucking dope promotion. That was a really good promotion. And even then, one thing that he had in his pocket back in Strike Force days, and even before that, was Fedor. You know what I mean? That, and like that right there, because you mentioned, it brings that pride feeling to it. What more pride feeling do you want than Fedor? Right. But just some of the fights, whether it be Bellator or Strike Force, I'm like, what are we doing here, man? What are we? Most recently in Bellator, there was Lyoto Machida versus Ryan Bader. That's a good fight, but it's like, wow, we saw them in their prime. It's hard to get excited for something like that. But it's just, he likes throwing, I don't want to say circus shows, because it's not fucking Jake Paul or anything like that. But it is. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, I think Bellator used to be more so. They would just, they have like the kind of, I guess, freak show fights, like they'd have like they use the old names like the Shamrock and Gracie through, what I mean? But I think now I think they just invested so much in the company that they're signing so many, not just ex-UFC guys, but like up and comers, like like AJ McKee and all those guys. Like they got a killer roster now, especially in my division. My division's stacked.
Yes.
So yeah, I think they're on the right track to like just build up their own guys and not just piggyback off of promotions like they used to. So I think they're heading the right direction there.
And that's what I always liked about even the Bjorn Rebney days. And there's guys still around like Douglas Lima and shit like that. There's guys that just they built their identity in Bellator, and it's worked really, really well for them.
Yeah, like Pitbull too. You know what I mean?
Pitbull. Oh my God, yes, Michael. Well, and then there's guys that left like Michael Chandler, Eddie Alvarez. The guys that went on to the UFC, or even guys that went to other places, but guys who are even still there. Even take like an MVP. Yep. You know what I mean? He's like a superstar over there, where that probably wouldn't have went the same in other organizations.
Yeah, exactly. They do a good job at building guys up, and especially in the European guys, it seems too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's back when Bjorn was in charge and I was covering this shit like full time. That's one thing I really like, when they brought in like Korshkov and these other guys like that. I'm like, yo, okay, they're going a completely different route, because UFC was very Canada, US, and Brazil heavy at that time. I'm like, oh, they're going a complete different path. They're bringing very exciting guys.
Yeah, now they're signing all the Russians.
Yeah. Well, back to Coker, Fedor. There's a connection right there, right?
Yeah. I mean, my last fight, it was pretty quiet. I'm a huge Fedor fan, always have been. And then I walked out of my hotel room, and then my next door neighbor opens up and Fedor comes out. I'm like, oh shit, Fedor. Nice.
Yeah, that's crazy. You didn't get to talk to him or anything?
Did he have his sweater though?
He didn't have a sweater on, no, unfortunately.
Oh.
No. Yeah, he was there cornering Nemkov.
I don't think that I would know what to say. Like, what do you say when you're like, hi, sir?
Yeah, I don't think he knows what you're saying really much.
I don't think he's big on English. Yeah, I was going to say.
Does he not speak? I thought he spoke a little English, no?
He might understand you, but I don't think every interview of his I saw, he's speaking Russian. Yeah. I don't think he's big on English.
I've always just had in my head that he probably understands a lot more than you think, and he just chooses to sit there quietly and smile.
Probably very possible.
He's a very like calm and collected guy, and he's very religious. You know what I mean? He's like, imagine Saint Pierre being very religious. I mean, he's like a super nice guy. He's a good fighter, and he's not the one to sit there and talk shit or nothing like that. You know what I mean? He's And he's getting more and more into religion. Every latest interviews, if he's a Psy, anyways, he's more and more into it. So
I can't even handle GSP with hair. I don't know if I'm equipped to imagine anything else GSP hasn't normally done. But back to Bellator. I've been curious about this, and I realized that probably, Josh, you're not going to have anything terribly out of line to say since you're working for them still. But I noticed an interesting post from Lorenz Larkin announcing his own fight and very, very forwardly pointing out that Bellator had not only not promoted him or his fight, but not even mentioned it or announced it. And he was only like 2 weeks out from his fight. Now, I'll be honest, I don't catch a lot of the promotion, and I know Bellator has historically not promoted to the level of like a UFC. But my question is A, did you see that? And B, is that like just normal? Is that how things work now? Like, I haven't really kept up with Bellator that well. Or was that just like he's being salty and that's not really how it works?
I didn't catch that, but I do agree that if I have one knock on Bellator, and there's really not many, but this is the one. It's their lack of marketing. They seem to take forever to announce fights. Like they just announced mine, like I don't know how long it was, like a week ago. Not even. And the fight's like within 2 weeks. It just like, usually you want to do that, 6-8 weeks out, 4 weeks out, whatever, enough time to kind of build it up and get, draw more attention to it. So that's something I think they lack, or I don't know if they choose to do that. I don't know why, but yeah, I would say that's the only knock I would say on Bellator is that their lack of marketing.
I felt like when I went backwards in my mind, I felt like when they were much more active than they are now, and a lot of it was tournament style, like I saw the value in not trying to over promote into the future. Like UFC will push like 2, 4, 5 cards at a time. Mm-hmm. And so I could kind of get that. But then like reading what he actually said was, I'm sorry, guys, I was trying to be a professional and let Bellator announce the fight, but they never did. And now we're 2.5 weeks out from the fight. So I'll do the honors myself and I'll announce that I'll be fighting May 7th on Showtime. Yeah. And I was just like, bro, like that's not, especially during a pandemic, like y'all aren't fighting. They don't have cards every week or two like they used to. Like, what are you promoting if you're not promoting the actual fights that are coming up? But I don't follow it as closely as I used to. So I thought maybe he was just kind of feeling some type of way.
No, I feel him on that one, and especially for like, I know because in Bellator you can get sponsors, right? So that just like decreases the amount of time you can push a fight and potentially gain some sponsors and some awareness, right? So yeah, I don't like how they do that. They definitely take too long.
What is, I mean, Jason's already outlined the plethora of promotions you fought for. What have you, in your experience, seen to be the most, on the fighter side, beneficial and efficient with sponsors? I always felt like Strikeforce was pretty baller with what they allowed and did, but that's obviously not in existence anymore. So present day, what would you say most?
Well, I never got to fight for Strikeforce, but I mean, I guess present day, I guess would be Bellator, or just your regional promotions, because I mean with UFC you can't do it anymore, right? Which sucks. So I would say in their heyday, UFC, you at one point like sponsors were amazing for UFC fighters. I kind of missed that boat, unfortunately, where guys were getting paid bank and big time, and then that kind of put the kibosh on things like when UFC started charging sponsors to sponsor athletes. That's when everything went downhill, in my mind, as far as sponsorships.
I mean, never mind the fact that back then, especially like undercard guys, were making easily more on sponsorships than they were in purses for starters.
Yeah.
But I mean, like significantly more. But also, can we at least agree that like not only is everything better in general, but that the Venom kits are better than the Reebok kits?
Yeah, I'll definitely go with Venom.
Like everything is better than the Reebok kits, but I like the Venom ones. I've always been a Venom fan, and I've noticed that when they were talking about striking the deal, especially on social media, it was kind of this like weird elitist, like, oh, Venom, okay, kind of thing. But then like I thought back and I'm like, man, other than Under Armour, I always felt like Venom was a relatively popular brand. I mean, at least going back 5-10 years, I was shocked at the response. But then once they actually debuted it, I don't think I saw anybody mention it at all, other than to say, man, Reebok really sucked. Like, I was really glad they changed it. I like it.
Yeah, I like it because Venom's like they're one of the old school ones that've been around, right? So I like to see them, get some, like, I guess, recognition and some awareness to the non-fight fan.
When you see, like when you first saw Reebok get involved at the UFC level, did you think that might open up like a chain of things that spreads through other MMA avenues? And by now the UFC would be, using Nike or Gatorade or whatever the hell, and then Bellator might be Powerade and fucking Reebok or Fila or something. You know what I mean? Like, did you think at first that this Reebok thing was going to be great for the entire sport?
I kind of had mixed emotions on it, just because, like, I've never been a huge fan of Reebok. It's not like I don't like this stuff, but I don't really have a lot of Reebok shit. And yeah, but once I seen like the whole, like I was saying, like the sponsors, having to pay to sponsor a guy like 50 G's to the UFC, that's when I started seeing, like, remember all the brand, like you'd have like First Round, and you'd have obviously Tap Out, and you'd have Full Contact Fighter. You have all these different brands, and then they all just kind of like just slowly, disappeared, just because they weren't getting like that push anymore.
I thought that was because Reebok kind of took over and told everybody no.
Well, yeah, right.
Yeah.
You couldn't show that anymore. So that kind of, I didn't like that. I like the individual, like the individuality of the fighters. I don't like everybody looking the same, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that NASCAR
That
look,
also
as
gives
people
you
call
freedom
it.
to make your own deals too, right? Sort of get your own sponsors, pick it out, right? Other than just Reebok, and that's it.
Yeah, and they decide what you get paid.
Wait,
Yeah,
but correct me if
exactly.
I'm wrong. They were still allowed to have sponsors. They just couldn't wear any of it or on any on-camera responsibilities, which means nobody sponsored them. But they were allowed to do that. Right?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
You could go outside of anything, but yeah, I mean the main marketing thing is to be seen, right? So
right.
in the ring, right? Because you'd have to be like a legit TMZ star to be seen somewhere outside just fucking around wearing stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like, not joking, and I realize this is like the weirdest thing. I miss those raggedy ass, like, Microsoft clip art paint looking banners that the fucking would be held up. Like, they were the worst. It's like Muscle Farm here and Condom Depot there and fucking Zions everywhere, and I miss that.
yeah, man, I still got mine going. But it's actually a dope looking banner. Wait, if you guys watch, see it. It's just my favorite one so far.
Of course, I'll be watching, man. That's a given for sure. Because this fight has, I don't know if it's been said, but it's been rumored, like, title implications. This could put you in title contention.
Yep. It's definitely, like, they haven't officially said that for sure, but it's definitely, whoever wins this one is a very good chance of be fighting for the belt.
Shit, eh? That's nice. And like, in terms of things, there was a time, right, when it's like, fuck, if it's UFC belt or nothing, right? It's just nothing else matters unless it's a UFC belt. It doesn't count unless it's UFC. That's not the same thing anymore. So for your own, like, personal accomplishments, where would a Bellator championship rank for you?
It would be at the top, you know what I mean? It would be the best. Like, I made goals when I started this, I wanted to become a Canadian champ, and I did that. And then, one other goal was to have 20 wins. I did that. And then sign with a big promotion. I did that a couple times, and to win a world title, I fought twice for one against Marlon, and lost those two. So to do it here in Bellator would be, that's definitely my top goal.
You lost those two, but that first one was close. I mean,
Yeah,
what was it happening in the first one? There was something you did, and Boss Root went crazy over it.
Yeah, it might have been like I think I did like a flying knee into like an uppercut or something.
Something like that. And Boss Rudin went nuts over it.
Yeah.
He's the best person ever to go nuts, I might add.
Yeah, I love Boss, man. He's great, and like, if you see him on like that "Here Comes the Boom" movie, like, he's exactly like that in real life too. Like, he's hilarious. Good dude.
I love him.
Yeah. I love the one part in that movie when Kevin James first tries to start training some MMA stuff, and Boss is at the gym and he's like showing him like chokes and this and that, and Boss keeps escaping them. And the one thing that like in those funny YouTube videos he used to put out, and even when he's talking, he says bang bang bang, and he does that in the movie, and then he goes to the spin class and hops on the cycle. Oh my god, that is so funny.
Yeah, the dang.
Yeah. The bang. Kick to the pills.
Aw. I had him on, man. I interviewed him like 10 years ago. I'm so sad I don't have a record of that anymore. He's the best.
Yeah, he definitely is. Down in where you are in Sacramento, there's a guy who used to fight there, and he was a pretty big staple out of that camp named TJ Dillashaw. And he had a fight coming up that got canceled against a former teammate. Like you said, you've been down there for years, so you were there when TJ was there.
Yeah.
Throughout the split and all the animosity has happened since. With this fight that was coming up, was there any sort of like fuck TJ mantras going on in the gym?
I mean that no, I haven't heard that, but like watching it, I picked Sandhagen to win. And if I had to pick who I'd rather want to win, it'd be him.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, and you was it Sandhagen? Who was it? You just posted something the other day about the guy's turned into a great coach. Why the fuck?
Holdsworth.
Yeah. And that was a person that people accused TJ of ruining his career, and that's why he became a coach. But becoming a coach, people say like he is an exceptional coach, and you're talking about him as well. What is it that makes him so well? Because athletes of any kind usually don't make the best coaches.
Yeah. I mean, Chris is just like he's super, super skilled. You know what I mean? Like I would say like of anybody at the gym here, he gives me the most trouble during grappling. You know what I mean?
Whoa.
But he's been doing it for so long. He knows so much shit, and he blends it well with MMA now. And being a fighter, he knows how to, what works and what doesn't actually in fights. So he's gone through it, right? So he knows like the emotions and stuff. A lot of coaches that actually haven't fought, especially at a high level, they might not have that, right? So experience does matter. So I think he brings the experiences and the skill sets together, and he's able to, portray it and communicate well with the guys.
Right on. And speaking of sponsors, you've been thanking them a lot lately as well. Our man So Severe. Did you guys get anything worked out with Run My Fade?
Yeah.
Xavier Dios, I guess you know him as on Facebook. But
I was like, how does he not know?
Yeah.
He's been a cool guy. We're just shooting the shit. I think he said he's gonna send me some gear, which is cool. I haven't been home, so I don't even know if it's there yet. But yeah, he's a super nice guy.
Yeah. I remember when he was asking for recommendations and stuff, and then you guys got hooked up, and he was very grateful of working with you and taking a look at who you are, because he, as much as he's into martial arts, the crazy thing is when the first time we had him on, what was it he said, Amy? He trains in martial arts that he can't even pronounce, like old traditional shit, like and like more modern stuff, but it's not like he's tapped into every single fighter who's what. So he went and looked you up, and he told me, he was like, dude, what the fuck? He's like one of the top fighters in Canada. He's gonna be fighting for a Bellator belt too. What the fuck? Like, he was freaking out. So yeah,
I know, pretty excited.
It's a good fit too. But speaking of that, how are you? First of all, are you a fan of hip hop?
Yep.
Okay, do you watch battle rap at all? Probably not, eh?
No, I haven't.
Well, you need to send you some So Severe battles.
No.
Oh,
okay,
yes.
that's good. Yeah.
Oh, what were you gonna think? Pat versus Marv?
Yes.
Josh, this is the rudest battle ever. I'm gonna have to send him that one too now.
Sounds good.
No, but Severe is a cool cat, and he's good at battle rap too, and he's actually a pretty decent rapper too. He seems like to be a very rounded individual.
Yes, and he's a very good chef too. You should make him be your personal chef for training.
I'm gonna tell him that you called him very round.
Well-rounded, I mean to say. Sure, pick on an immigrant.
That's what we
pick on the
American.
immigrant.
Yeah.
Hey, Josh is an immigrant in your country right now. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You picked quite a place to come to, so.
How often
Better than Ontario right now.
How often do you fight in states?
How often?
Yeah.
Well, whenever they get a fight. I mean, last year I did 2. It would have been 3 if I didn't get injured.
But I mean, most of your fights happen in the States, right?
Uh,
Or no? Sorry,
quite
I'm
a
just
few.
I'm fresh to MMA. I've been like getting in deeper and deeper into it, right? So I'm learning
Yeah.
stuff and
Earlier in my career, it was mostly in Canada, and then mostly in the States after that. And then I had some cool ones that were overseas, like Russia and Romania and whatnot.
how
And
does it work with the States right now? Because you fight there, you make money there. Did you apply for some sort of a, I don't even know, what is it there? Some sort of a permanent resident or
No, I
temporary
have
green
I have a
card?
work visa. Bellator got me a work visa.
So it's a work visa.
Yeah, so I can legally work here for a couple of
I
years.
guess that's a legit business and a big promotion because I remember trying to get a job in States and they were saying just for some bubblegum jobs, right? They were saying a work visa would cost an employer $10,000 to $15,000. So for the jobs that I was looking for.
How does this might be like a really dumb question, but if you're here, especially for an extended period of time, and you're employed by an American company, like how does that work with like American taxes? Do you pay American taxes?
It's funny you said that.
Don't you
'cause
pay double or some shit? You pay
Yeah, how does that
Canadian and
work?
American?
It's funny you say it because I literally just had a meeting with an accountant out here yesterday. So yeah, I was worried about that and I read to do it. So I guess Canada and US have an agreement that you don't get double taxed and all your money taken, which they already take enough anyway. So yeah, they took a whole bunch of my money when I fought here, and so I had to apply and get like some, I don't even know what it's called, IW10, I don't even know. And so I'm gonna get some of it back, and then I'm also gonna get a tax credit that I can put towards my Canadian taxes. So it's not like you're getting screwed twice.
So wait, are you considered an employee or a contract? Like, are you a contractor?
I guess I would be a contractor. But,
Yeah, that's when you really, really get raped on taxes. That way.
So right now, this time, do you know what you paid? Did you pay it a double right now, or did you pay American tax, or did you pay Canadian tax when you said they took too much money from you?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna have to, like, for 2020, I'm gonna have to pay the Canadian government a shit ton, but then I'm gonna get a tax credit that'll take some of that away, and then I'm also gonna get some back from the States, like an actual check. So it should work out to pretty close to what if
You didn't go into minus at least, right?
No, it's always minus.
Because they like
my
to
goddamn money.
I mean, at least you're getting a check. You should get stuck here more often.
Yeah, no kidding. But yeah, I mean, I hate the government anyway, so I think they take way too much, especially in Ontario. We get hosed with everything there, man.
So, and you get paid USD, right?
Yes, so that's a benefit right now.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. That
is it though? Because I just sent some money to States yesterday, and it was 75 cents to one American.
Yeah, but I'm gonna bring my US
he's
money
the other
back
way.
to Canada.
He's the other way. He's getting you're paying. You paid someone.
So I paid 75 cents Canadian for $1 American. So if you would be bringing American dollars back, you'd be losing money because you'd be getting $75 for every 100.
No.
Other way.
Yeah.
That's the other
Am I
way.
mixing something up?
Yeah. You're
Like
My
$1
bad,
American
sorry.
dollar is 75 cents in Canada.
Yeah. So you'd make a quarter on every dollar.
Okay, my bad. I got it backwards. Sorry. My bad.
God, don't ever take this guy to like Jamaica or anything.
No, I must have mixed something up. I don't know why. I remember yesterday it being it was only $100, right? But yeah, I remember them saying that it's 75 cents Canadian for an American dollar.
No, the other way around.
Well, wait, for example.
No, they said 75 Canadian for an American dollar. Or maybe I misunderstood. I got to look at the receipt.
Yeah, you must have. I think.
No, like for instance,
yeah.
The UFC
So it's 75.
here.
So it's 75 cents American for a Canadian dollar. I just got it back.
Yeah.
Right?
Like a
Okay,
UFC
okay.
pay-per-view here is $70. A UFC pay-per-view there is like $50, and we're paying the same amount.
Yeah, how does that work though? Because our money's worth less than yours.
That's why you're not paying.
That's why you're paying 70, not 50.
It's if you came here with $100 in your pocket, Kirill, and you took it to a bank, they would give you $75 back to spend.
No, I get it now. I must have misheard her or something because I remember being surprised. It was like so Canadian dollars is higher now. I'm pretty sure she said yes. I don't know. I might have walked in there after a joint. So
it really doesn't matter though. It really doesn't matter though when you're a contractor and they take out like 36% of the money. So
yeah, that's
you're breaking even.
7%.
And I'm not 100% certain because I was only sending $100, so it wasn't that really, you know what I mean? I just remember it being like, oh, really? Our dollar is bigger? But I must have mixed it up.
Yeah, our dollar
Anyways.
is not bigger. Never. Yeah. Right now, Josh is like, I'm so glad I joined this fucking podcast. Another thing the Ontario government managed to fuck right up is the rollout of legal marijuana. California seems to have done it a lot better than we have. First and foremost, is that something that you partake in?
Once in a while. Not like often, definitely.
Not hitting the bong all day, every day.
No, I can't function, man. I'm more, if I'm ever gonna do that, it's like either before bed or like if I'm just chilling watching a movie. Like I can't be doing anything functional in my life if I'm doing that. So yeah, once in a while, but not often.
Or like CBD, do you say that shit? I know a lot of athletes, to get away from pain.
Yeah, my wife was got me into that. Yeah, she's been using it quite a bit, so I've been using that like nightly with her too, and definitely like I think helps sleep anyway for sure.
Yeah. So down in California, are you using CBD as well?
I haven't even bothered this time, but just I've been sleeping fine. Probably because I'm so used to having the kid, be up and wake us up, and now I'm here just actually getting full on 8 hours sleep plus. It's crazy.
And so for you're a professional athlete in basically the roughest fucking sport there is, like that rugby. Like you come home every day with bumps and bruises. Mm-hmm. What do you do? Just like natural? Are you taking pain medication? You just taking Advil? Like what do you take?
I mean, if it's like killing me, like when I hurt my back, that was like, I was taking pain Advil and stuff like that. And they even prescribed me more potent shit, but I don't like taking that. You know what I mean? I mean, but the only time I took it was after one of my surgeries, just for like a day, and that was it. Just because I don't know. I have so many buddies that get hooked on that.
Yeah,
it's a slippery slope.
It's an epidemic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, especially all over the world. But
that's the real epidemic.
But I mean, like where we live, like the Golden Horseshoe, the GTA, all of that, like fuck, they're dropping like flies. I know so many people that have died or became addicted to pain medication, and they were not addicted to anything before that. But they get an injury, they get addicted to pain medication. That pain medication gets taken away, and then they need a fix.
There was a big problem a few years back around here when people were giving out perks for pulling teeth and stuff. You know what I mean? You come out, you pull your tooth to give you 30 perks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A teenager pops one too many and you feel the high and off you go. That's it. Yeah. It doesn't take long at all.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. What kind of drug testing does Bellator have? I know it's not USADA, but I mean,
I haven't been tested yet, so I don't know.
Oh shit! Oh no!
Yeah, I think it's just random. They can just pick anybody, and then I don't know if they can do it like any time or if it just come fight time. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I'm all for it if they do it. I hope they do it. I would actually like that better. Just because just weeds out the possibility of guys cranked out. But I haven't been tested yet.
Not speaking specifically on Bellator, but do you think you've crossed paths with guys in your career that you're pretty sure were on something?
Yeah.
Oh yeah?
I think so.
What gives it away? Is it just like when you clinch up with them and there's a certain kind of strength that you're like, yeah, this is not normal? Or like,
no, I mean, I've never there hasn't been many fights where I've felt like, holy shit, this guy's way stronger than me. But I'm just judging by like the way that they looked, or just like the lack of even talk about testing, or like the talking about people. A lot of people were roiding up there. Mm-hmm. I could imagine. I don't know for certain, but I'm imagining.
Yeah. Do you think USADA's a little too much?
Yeah, there comes that fine line, right, where it's like, of course you want to be tested, but then it's like all these tainted supplements, and if you have this little bit here, and it creates a lot of that gray zone controversy, right? Where somebody like a TJ, that's a blatant, like, I'm glad they caught him. I mean, that's
a big one. Yeah, that's a huge one.
It's not like you had some tainted shit and it screwed you over, like a lot of people have been, right? So yeah, it's good but bad.
I think it was Tim Beans had too much caffeine in his system, but when they showed up to randomly test him at his house, it was very early in the morning, and he just had like 2 or 3 cups of coffee. They tested him; your caffeine levels are out of whack. 6 months suspension.
Yeah,
What?
shit like that.
It's a little weird. Yeah, like John Jones got suspended for cocaine, right?
Out of
like
competition, yeah.
that. It's like, I don't know who's gonna take cocaine and do better.
Nobody.
You know what I mean?
Well, unless it's right before the fight, maybe that.
Yeah,
out
get
of
real
competition.
enthusiastic.
And it was funny too. It was on an episode of Joe Rogan. They started figuring it out, and when John tested positive, it was like 2 days after his birthday or 3 days after his birthday, and he was in Brazil for his birthday. And Brendan Schaub, who is the shittiest stand-up comedian ever, he actually said the funniest thing on the Rogan show about it. He's like, of course you're gonna do a couple bumps on your birthday. But the recreational drugs, like obviously performance drugs, I could see why you'd have a problem with it. But like an out of competition recreational drug user, is that an issue for you? Like, would you be concerned fighting someone that was say smoking weed, doing coke, whatever, out of competition?
Remember Tyson?
No, I wouldn't give a shit at all.
No. Yeah, weed is the funniest one too. Some of the suspensions we've seen over the years. I remember when Dave Herman got suspended for weed. This is before USADA, and he came back from suspension, and he was going to fight Stefan Struve. And I interviewed Stefan Struve, and I'm like, he's from Amsterdam. I already know where this is going to go. I was like, what do you think about fighting a guy that smokes weed? Stefan Struve was like, I don't give a shit. That doesn't matter to me at all. Look where I come from. Let him smoke weed. Let him smoke weed the day of the fight. Nick Diaz got screwed a lot on that. That's one that'll never make sense to me.
I mean, you don't have to be from Amsterdam to realize that smoking weed is not going to enhance anybody or anything's performance.
Yeah.
Well, like Josh just said, right? If he smokes it, he's going to bed.
Well, that's what it is. It could help. It could help after workout. You know what I mean? To relax and stuff. But it's not going to help you fight better. That's for sure.
No, God, no, hell no. I hit the bong. The last thing I want to do is fight anyone. Fight and sleep at that point. The podcast, Jason and the Gentleman. I really like it. What plans do you guys have for that? Are you guys plan on bringing guests in ever? Is it just going to be like an analytical show, or you guys just shooting the shit like you have been? Like, what's the direction with that?
Yeah, I don't know. It was one day he just asked me if you want to do it, and I was like, sure, man. And we just kind of continued. It's not something like put a lot of stock into or thought of into. But yeah, I think, I don't know, maybe after this fight, I'll actually, push it, and we'll kind of come up with like a game plan of what you actually want to do with it. Cause right now it's just like a little hobby that we do. Right.
It's good though. I like the chemistry, and it's perfect because he is such a well-spoken person. He's very good on the mic, and like you're well-spoken too on the mic. Plus like you bring that veteran fighter aspect to it, and you're not like, it's not like you're like some fucking goon, you know what I mean? Oh, he's the jock that fucking doesn't know any better. You're not that. I really like it. I'd like to see you guys mix it up and bring in some guests, whether it be local or UFC, Bellator, even interesting guests that don't fight but they're part of the fight game. I really like what you guys got going on over there.
Well, thanks, man. Yeah, that's cool. I think it was like we do commentary together for BTC.
Yep.
So I think that's kind of where it stemmed from. I think it's just also good practice for us because we're just talking so much. So when we do it, when the fights are back, it'll be that much better. So that's something I want to get more into as well, is the commentary side of it.
Yeah.
BTC finally doing a show again. They're doing it in BC.
Yeah, which is weird.
It's like their only option right now. So good on them for still doing it. So yeah, I'm pumped to actually call some fights again. Finally, it's been over a year.
Are you going to be working that event in Vancouver or BC?
I am. Yeah. Me and Jason are going to be there.
Oh shit! I didn't think you would be.
I didn't think so either, to be honest. Just because I know it's they're not making much money doing this, and right now it's just a shit show, right? So I figured that just kind of go with whoever is there locally, but they wanted to do it. So
that last BTC in Kitchener, February of last year. Yeah, Krill and I covered that actually, and that was an amazing event. And Jesse Ronson winning at the end, that just capped it all off. That was such a good
Talk
event.
about testing. He just got shafted, right?
Yeah. Something happened where it was tainted supplements or whatever, and I remember him talking about it like on social media at the time, saying that to dispute it costs like fucking 20 grand or 10 grand or something to get the tainted supplement tested. And a guy like in Jesse Ronson's spot, you don't just got 10 or 20 grand laying around. You can drop on that to dispute it. And I'd like to give him the benefit of the doubt. Obviously, I know the group he comes from, the camp he comes from, the type of people he's around. I'd like to give him the benefit of the doubt and don't think he would intentionally cheat. And a guy like that, look where the spot he's in now. He's taken I don't know if it's 12 months or 24 months or something suspension.
I think it was 2 years.
2 years, right? That guts your career, especially at his age.
Yeah, it's not like he's 25, like he's got all this time. I think he's a year or two older than me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely taken away from his prime years, man. And it sucks for him. I feel for him.
Mm-hmm. And after that fight, he got the call up to the UFC, went up in weight and won. Like that's right there. It's like, boom, we got some fire going. We got a spark.
Yeah, it was on a roll.
Yeah. And then just shut down. But that BTC though, that was a nice event. That was a very nice event. Rob Vevers, we had him on leading up to the event. And he was saying, I remember asking him are you guys going to be venturing in other provinces, maybe to the States? He was like, no, this is our home. This is where we're staying. This COVID mess happens. A year and a bit goes by, and it's like, oh, you're going to BC now.
Yeah.
Right? Like, fuck.
Gotta adapt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. I mean, they've been trying to do everything they can to do it here or in Ontario anyway. But yeah, this is kind of their only option to do one.
Have you done any commentating for anyone else besides BTC?
I did a couple amateur shows.
Okay.
That's how I started. It was just kind of by like fluke luck. Robin was supposed to do a show and he was running late, and they just asked me to fill in for the first couple fights. And that's kind of how it started. And then I started doing BTC after that.
Filling Robin Black's shoes on short notice. That must be fucking fun.
Yeah, I'm definitely no Robin Black, but
nobody is.
I'm getting better.
Yeah, Robin is a gem. All the way around. I mean, his commentating, his knowledge of the sport, even just talking to him, having a conversation. I can't say a bad word about that guy. Actually, that's not true, because leading up to it, whatever that rock band he was in back in the day, I remember seeing like videos on Much Music, and I was like, nope, change that shit. I'm a hip hop head, right? So I'm like, nope. And then all of a sudden I start seeing this guy around MMA, and I'm like, that's that freak show from that rock band. What's going on with this dude? Then I got to know him, and yeah, man, absolute gem of a human being.
Yeah, I like Robin, man. He's a good dude. He's been, I think my second fight he called, and we've known each other ever since then. And I have nothing but good things to say to Robin. Yeah,
him and Ramdeen, they're both good.
Johnny,
your boy Reed Duthie, your manager when you're professionally wrestling. He's another one. He is money on the mic, whether it's MMA, combat sports, or hockey.
Yeah. Reed's he's great, dude. I love Reed. Another great guy, and he has a passion for it. And that was fun when we did the pro wrestling, and he was my manager for the night. That was cool.
Yeah, I remember I don't know what show I was doing at the time. I think we were Naked Choke Radio and had you on. And released the episode. Like the next day, Reed texted me, and he was like, "I wish I knew Josh was going to talk about the keyboard thing. I was his manager for that."
Yep,
crazy. Yep. Is pro wrestling something you might try again, or is that just a little fun?
Not, dude. I mean, if I was 6'5", 250 pounds, maybe. But it was just something that I've always been a huge fan, and like I come from a lineage, with my great uncle being a pro wrestler. But like my buddy is a pro wrestler, and I've known him since we were like 5 or even before that. And I just came to the show as a fan, and he's like, yo man, let me like work you into the show, people like know you here. And I'm like, all right, cool. So we did it, and then we just built it up and eventually had a match.
and being like some sort of a purist with this combat sports stuff, that's what you do for a living. Pro wrestling's one thing. I don't knock it. There was one point like back in the day, like mid 2000s, where it's like, I'm an MMA guy, you're pro wrestling, I'm better than you, whatever. I've grown since then. But when you see things like this Jake Paul shit going on, like what goes through your head? I mean, that he's making serious bank, and he's fucking terrible at what he does. Like what goes through your head as a person who's been doing this as a career for over a decade?
Well, I guess that's the problem. I don't knock on that guy because he's making money. I mean, I guess he was a YouTuber, famous. I don't know any YouTubers, so I couldn't tell you. So I guess that's where he was, famous from. The problem lies, I think, the best guys in the world aren't making that money. So therefore, there's an issue there, I think, because now these guys are coming in just because their fame are making, 100 times more than most of the fighters. So that's what sucks. As far as him, he's a clown for sure, but like, he's making money and for like watching him fight, like I knew he was going to knock out Askren. I called that before. I said, I'm like, the guy's athletic.
Did it seem a little weird to you though? Did they end up the fight, the outcome? No,
not at all.
Josh shutting that down real quick.
I don't know, man.
Dude, like I like Ben Askren, but his hands are awful. They've always been awful. They've never been good. And it's crazy to think how far he got with just his wrestling grappling. But and this is a guy that is older now. He's retired. He's coming off a hip surgery, not training, and was a shitty striker always to begin with. Like I just knew it was a recipe for disaster for him.
You think he just fell down not to take more beating or whatever? Just took his money, went home.
He got put down.
The way he got cracked, that was legit. Like you'd see his body just fold and hit and bounce. So
that I didn't watch. I didn't watch that one.
I just think, he's another guy's a better boxer than him.
What do you think about this Mayweather thing coming up?
It's another just a money grab. You know what I mean? Like, why? I don't even know. Like, his brother.
You think there's a chance because he's a much bigger dude than Mayweather, right? You think there's a chance he could crack Mayweather the way he did Askren?
Oh, fuck! Not like Askren. I mean, Mayweather's.
I mean, not exactly, but you know what I'm saying. You think there's a chance of a lucky shot?
There's always a chance of a lucky shot, right? But it's more dangerous in MMA because you're wearing 4-ounce gloves. With boxing, we're wearing bigger gloves, so it is harder to get that lucky shot. But
but I mean, 50-pound difference, right?
Yeah, for sure. He's definitely be the much bigger guy, more powerful guy. But I just still think Floyd will kind of toy with him for a little bit, and when it's time to put it on, we'll put it on him. Yeah,
that's what Kelly been saying.
Yeah, man. It's like the Conor versus Floyd thing. Like, did you think, aside from, Conor landing a solid shot, and because I don't want to call it a lucky shot, especially Conor, he does know how to fight.
Yeah.
But was there a second that you thought like Conor's going to take Floyd out?
No.
Me neither.
But there's also weight difference there too, right? Floyd and Conor are not. What is the difference there? If any,
for that fight, that was like
Conor's
a sanctioned fight. Yeah, Conor's definitely bigger, but Floyd went up. Floyd probably just ate more home fries that morning or something to make weight. Like Conor's definitely bigger, but they met at an actual.
I don't
weight.
doubt Mayweather for a minute. He's definitely one of the greatest boxers ever. It's just that I'm thinking of a size difference in the lucky shot. You know what I mean? I would hate to see Paul fucking coming out of that.
Oh my god!
Yeah. The only good thing that would ruin his legacy. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, never mind the fact that even just the discrepancy between, experience and styles, like you're also talking about one of the most successful, effective defensive boxers in the world. Like, you're not even talking somebody that you might catch because they're striking so often. Like, this is the Anderson Silva who's waiting for you to do what you're going to do. And there's not really any good defense for that when you're not a seasoned strategic boxer yourself.
Yeah, I agree. Totally.
True enough, but Mayweather's not getting younger either, right? This guy's young, bigger. I don't know. I'm gonna watch for sure.
Look, here's my question. I need to know, first of all, I can't stand any of this. Every time something new is announced, I want to dig out my own eyeballs with an ice pick. I hate it all. But I hate even more that Jake Paul is the person making the most sense shitting on Dana White about fighter pay, but also, in conclusion, I need to know, let's go on beyond the fact that we all know what Josh was just saying is a large point in contention for a lot of people and has been when it comes to fighter pay in MMA. But what I need to know is, who are these investors for Triller? Because not only are you paying these freak show fight attendees and participants far more than what these seasoned athletes are being paid, you're also putting on full-fledged concerts with people like fucking Bieber. How much do you spend for an event, sir?
Yeah, people with deep pockets, man.
Bro, who is... I should look this up. I'm sure it's findable. But, does anybody know who exactly invests in this other than Snoop?
No.
Yo, Josh, did you watch the Ben Askren Jake Paul thing? You watched the event?
I watched some of it. Yeah.
Some of it. The Oscar De La Hoya and Snoop and everyone at the commentating table. Did you hear any of that?
That was the biggest shit show I've ever.
Wasn't that fucking terrible?
Yeah, I mean, I give credit to Frank Trigg on his response to it. Or sorry, not
I didn't even see. What did he say?
Frank Mir, sorry, not Trigg.
Oh.
Yeah, he just like he was very like classy, but it just said like, you know, as far as the commentary, like I could laugh, I could be mad, but like addiction's a real thing, and I hope Oscar gets the help he deserves and whatnot. Because I mean, like, you know, and to be honest, like Mir, like I thought he was going to get worked.
Me too.
Him, he actually looked a lot better than I thought. So
yeah, I thought he was going to go to sleep, and I was not looking forward to see Frank Mir go to sleep.
Yeah.
Not because I'm like, you know, I don't have Frank Mir posters on my wall or anything. It's just I don't want to see that. He's taken enough over the years. I don't want to see him get worked by a retired boxer who's in his mid 40s. Not that Frank's much younger, but it's just not fun for me.
Yep.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Gentlemen, I need
Wah, wah.
no shit, eh? Anything else we need to touch on before we let Josh go? We've taken up a bunch of his time.
I think we're good. I think it was a pretty decent goal.
Josh, anything else you want to get in here? You want to tell people when you will be the Bellator champion?
I thought you were gonna say how much you like that Ford.
I already know how much he likes Doug Ford. I watch his podcast.
Dougie.
Dougie.
Yeah. What was? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And he doesn't smoke weed. Yeah.
I know.
No, I just get punched in the head for a living. All right. End of the year. That's the goal, man. End of the year.
End of the year.
Yep.
Bellator, as far as all signs point to, they're going to just continue to do shows as regular, right? Like they
said they from when they started to the end of the year they want to do like 24 shows, so that's like 2 a month, so that's good.
Whoa, they're really pumping them out.
Yep.
And again, I guess the UFC is damn near weekly.
Yeah.
Crazy how the sports turned into that, eh?
You know, it's good.
Man. It's great in a way, but then in a way too, like even UFCs sometimes. Well, I guess this COVID thing is kind of different because they have people that have contracts and they had to work them in where they could. And some of the cards are, you know, it's not what we got in 2009 or something when you only got a pay-per-view every few months and it would be stacked from top to bottom. We're not getting those anymore, but there's a lot more action going on. And, you know, it's like Dana White said a long time ago, his goal is to have the sport just like every other sport where there's games on all the time. And if you're a basketball fan, you're not going to watch every single game of the season from every single team. You're going to pick and choose which ones you want to watch. That's kind of where the sport is now. I mean, like Bellator doing 2 a month, UFC doing 3 or 4 a month. And you got other promotions doing, you know, fairly regular stuff. You got one over in Asia who is killing it. And it's right there, man. It's a sport where you can pick and choose. No, I'm interested in this card, not interested, or I'm interested in a couple fights on this card, not interested in the rest. And you can change the channel and know that next Saturday there's going to be more on, or next Friday there's going to be more on.
Yeah. Let's just hope
I mean, that depends on what you're watching and how much you feel like paying, though. Like, that is still the big difference.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I promise you this, there is no sporting event I'm paying $70 to see on my own couch.
Yeah, it's got to be an event. Have some friends over or some shit. You know, you can't just.
Yeah, it's got to be a thing for you, Josh. What's your best fight? Like for you to watch a fight, what is the best setup? You and some friends sitting at home having some beers. Do you like to be out at the bar watching? Do you like to be live watching?
Don't like the bar at all. I mean, I'll go there, but like I just, you know, you get a bunch of fucking morons saying dumb shit like get up and hit them. Yeah, exactly. So I prefer at home, a couple of buddies.
Yep.
Family, just have some beers and that's it.
And your experience at home watching with a couple of buddies must be different. Like, I don't know, you got Lyndon Whitlock there and all these other guys that know everything about the sport. Do you guys watch fights and like as you're watching them having a few beers, like point you like, oh, he's trying to do this or he's gonna go for this or you should watch for that? Like you guys damn near cornermen when you're watching the TV?
Sometimes. Yeah.
I love it.
invested we are in it, but yeah, sometimes.
I love it. And is there fighters too that either you have a relationship with, like from, you know, in California, from back home, or even guys who like you're a fan of, where like you get really into it, like start screaming at the TV?
Yeah, no, I just get more nervous, right? Because I'm watching like friends, you know. I mean, that's and I can't do anything about it, you know. So it's just watching and hoping they do well, and so I get so into it and so nervous. Yeah, any you know, anybody out here and then anybody back home.
Yeah, I've with friends definitely. Through covering MMA when I used to like do that, and I knew every fighter coming out of every country that on the planet. You know, you develop a rapport with fighters, and then some of them you become friends with, and like I'm watching the fight, like, oh my god, oh no. Yeah. And another thing too is I find like okay, Demetrius Johnson, I developed a great relationship with him, like to the point of a friendship, right? And he's one of the greatest of all time. Demetrius would go in to defend his belt, and for me it's like I forget that he knows anything about martial arts. I'm like, oh no, he's gonna get hit. Oh no, they're like 8-9 feet away, and I'm like, watch out, Demetrius. So I get what you're talking about, the nervousness, and especially when you're like tight friends coming up with some of these people, training with them, it must be even worse.
For sure, yeah. And you have a personal investment, right, with them, so it just amplifies the whole situation.
Okay, so Josh, anything you want to get in before we let you go? Anything you want to shout out? Any points you want to touch on?
No, I think that I'm good, man.
He's good. The gentleman is good. Is the lady good? Oh, she left.
No, I haven't left. I'm good. I'm normally full of random questions, but I think we've gone completely all over the place already. So I think we're good.
She is. Are you gonna have a poutine when you get back to Canada, Josh?
I'm not a huge poutine guy.
What the fuck? Stay in California.
Yeah, right?
Nah, my man. I'm very thankful you came on to join us. It's been fun. We need to do this again sooner than later. Would have been awesome to have Severe here too to talk some shit. And another thing I've thought about is having you and Jason on, you know, talk some more podcasting stuff at some point.
Yeah, but, yeah, man, I'm down for sure.
Yeah, that would be a ton of fun. All right, you can check Josh out May 7th, Bellator 258. Thank you to Josh, the Gentleman Hill, for coming on. For Amy Barton, Kirill Kasatskiy, I'm Jay Kelly. This is Building Downtown. We out. Peace.
Building downtown. Building downtown. Building downtown. Building downtown.